Welcome to Chat With Me on the Side. Today we have a very exciting guest. We have none other than Sam Tarell.
Thank you for having me.
You like that? Is that a good announcement? I'm so excited you're here. And I know you have a little thing that you want to do at the beginning, so I'm going to let you have the floor.
I'm going to start with a spoken word poem that I wrote called Statistics. I love to use statistics to prove my points. I was always really good at numbers. See, I can solve a Rubik's Cube in 35 seconds, but in 26 years, I haven't been able to piece together a home. I moved around so many times that we stopped unpacking. Boxes, piled on boxes, it was easy to find the square root of every problem, but never the solution. How can I think outside the box when I'm so used to packing my life into one? I'm great at puzzles though, so I learned quickly how to fit in. I love Tetris, but if there's one thing it taught me, it's that fitting in only makes you disappear. There's a reason that my mind is so good at numbers. 12 is the number of schools that I attended. 9 is the age that I had to become the man of my house. 16 is the number of houses I lived in. 0 is the number of homes. 0 is the number of childhood friends. 0 is the number that haunted the bank. We were homeless. 5 people living in one room. No, one van, no one around to put a roof over our heads. 11 is the age that we struggled to find the money to afford food. Do you know what it's like to be hungry? To be rejected by strangers, friends, and even family because you can't afford to pay a bill? I'm still that 11-year-old kid. I'm hungry. Others are worried about their television shows and their non-hand-me-down clothes. I was happy to have my family in a place to sleep, but 0 is the amount of people that helped us. 0 is the amount of stability I had. Nothing in my life has been permanent. But I learned how to be silent because we give 0 volume to the voices of struggle. I will no longer fit into this puzzle of America and disappear. I'm still hungry. I'm hungry for something permanent. I'm tired of math. I'm done adding up everything from my past and getting a negative answer. Watch me create history. Then I'll have something to turn back to. Watch me use chemistry with my surroundings to create a permanent geography that I'll remember. I will no longer be silent. Watch my English create riots because the science of starvation is real. Until 0 is the amount of insecurity that I feel, until 0 is no longer the infinity in my life, I will not stop. Because this hunger to live is the only thing that keeps me from just becoming another statistic.
I'm gonna need a minute. Hold on. Sam. Okay. Wow. So let's unpack that a little bit. That is amazing.
Thank you.
You obviously wrote this.
Yes.
Based on your childhood experience.
Yeah, so I wrote that poem from a...
You guys okay?
I think that poem speaks to a portion of my experience growing up, and really like the darkest part, if we want to go there. Yeah. I don't think that paints the entire picture.
Okay.
I think that's like, I wrote that in a headspace of like really looking at the lowest of the low of where everything that I went through. But as a whole, like looking at how I was as a kid and like growing up and having my family there, I had a great childhood personally. Like I didn't realize until I was older that it wasn't necessarily normal to move as many times as I did. Like from 2nd grade to 12th grade, my family moved about 12 times. So jumping from school to school. And it wasn't until 7th grade that I started to like make friends that I kept because
that you could keep,
it was in the same kind of area that we stayed. But I do think that poem does speak to like those low points that I had. But it doesn't paint the entire picture because there were moments that were.
But it does put in effect like what you went through that creates kind of who you want and who you don't want to be as you get older. Right.
Exactly.
The things you want to prevent, the things you want to help people do. And wow, how old are you?
26.
26. That's young, and you're just so brilliant, and you're just so passionate. I love it. I love it. So you've already started more than one business at your age. So this passion, you have been driven to do things.
And I think going back to like the beginning of my story, my mom was, I grew up very differently than most people because we didn't have a lot of like stability, quote unquote, from the external, but internally our family was very close.
Very tight.
And my mom worked from home. She was running a business. She was an entrepreneur. And I didn't see any other lifestyle other than entrepreneurship.
You saw passion.
And so to me, like that was normal. Like to me, from a young age, I knew I was going to start a business. Like I knew I was going to do something entrepreneurial with my life because that was just in my like DNA, if you want to call it that, and what I was modeled growing up. So I learned so much from my mom, and like, although we never had like a consistent place to call home, the idea of home was much more stable within our family, and the place that I found to call home was the basketball court. So
interesting.
Playing basketball like outside with my brothers, 6-7 hours a day sometimes. And my passion was I want to play in the NBA. Like that was where I wanted to do. And so in high school, I didn't have the opportunity to play on my freshman or sophomore team. I moved to a different school junior and senior year. It was a small school, and I didn't have the exposure of college coaches. I was pretty good. I'm 6'5". I have, like looking back, I think I had the ability to play college basketball. I just didn't have the exposure needed. I had a couple small offers from like a Division III school where they can't offer athletic scholarships. They can only offer academic. So I had like academic scholarship, but it would still have been $20,000 a year or more. Ooh. Yeah. And another one that was like a walk-on opportunity. But ultimately I decided not to play college basketball. And when I was 18, I started my first business, which is called Hoop Brothers.
Oh, cool.
And Hoop Brothers, the purpose of Hoop Brothers is to help high school basketball players to get scholarships for college. So it was very much a hobby to start out.
Okay.
I bought a video camera and I was filming my brother to create highlight videos that he could send off to college coaches.
Nice.
The goal was help him get a scholarship and help other players around that I knew to have the opportunity to promote themselves to college coaches through what is a highlight video or like a 2 to 3 minute video, similar to like a commercial, to advertise them to a coach, right? So it started as a hobby.
Yeah.
The first
But you
event,
realized how beneficial it was.
Yeah, I realized how big it could be the first event that I partnered with. Okay. So it was somebody that I had gone to one of their events, and I called him and said, "Hey, would it be possible for me to come film this event? I'll give you guys free video footage from that event, and I can promote to the players there and offer videos." And we sold 28 videos at that first event.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And that's when I was like, okay.
And you're like, this is a thing.
This is a thing.
This is something they need.
We can do this, yeah. And that's when I started
you were
getting...
how old at the time?
18.
Okay.
So that's when I started to get more serious about it. That's when I was like, excuse me. Sorry. That's when I started to think about I could actually turn this into a business, and this could be full time for me. So over the next couple of years, I was partnering with more events, reaching out and saying, "Hey, can I come to this?" Some of the clients that we had worked with from that event, I would go out to their events to film their games, and I was doing everything. I was filming, I was making the relationships, I was editing the footage, and the team grew over those first 2 years. It was just me, but then when we got to year 3, we started to get more inbound kind of request, and I needed staff outside of myself to film.
And where is it today?
So it's grown significantly since then. Now over the past 5 years, since those first 2, we closed a national partnership. So we've now got hundreds of events that we film every single year. Tomorrow, I was just talking to our video manager. He said we have events in Sacramento and Greensboro, I think in Charlotte.
All around
I don't
the
even
country.
know, to be honest, because I'm disconnected from the process of hiring videographers at this point. So we have 250 or so videographers all throughout the country that we work with that are contractors. We've helped over 6,000 players. Just closed the deal with New Zealand. So we're actually becoming an official recruiting service partner for New Zealand, which is mind-blowing to me.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So if there's a basketball player out there that might be interested in your services,
Absolutely.
or a recruiter or however, how do they find you?
So Hoop Brothers, hoopbrothers.com is our website. Hoop Brothers on all social media platforms if they're trying to find anything for recruiting purposes.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
But you didn't stop there.
Didn't stop there.
You didn't stop there. That wasn't enough. One business across the country. Not enough. So we're going to do something else. What else do you do, Sam?
So during that time, I was learning a lot about business. I was learning a lot about building a team, marketing, sales, all of those different aspects. And I started business coaching at UCF. So I was working with business students. I worked with about 40 to 50 students over the several years that I was a volunteer. And I've developed a curriculum on leadership and a curriculum on business.
These are important skills, ladies and gentlemen.
And to me, I always look at the education system, and I believe that education is the foundational pillar to everything. If people understand how they can use the technology that we have today, because there's so much more than there's ever been, then they have the ability to not only transform their life, but transform the world. And so my thought was, I want to change the education system. I believe that I have a greater calling to impact education. And so I decided to start an alternative school.
Just a little endeavor.
I opened an alternative university. It's called Divergent U.
Divergent U.
The idea of it was to basically help people to get clear on who they are, where they're going, and how they can utilize technology now to pursue their passion, whether through entrepreneurship and business or through getting a job aligned with whatever it is they're called to do.
You know what I love about that? Like Divergent U can be for university, but it also can be for you.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And this past summer, or this summer, we had an 8-week test group going through the curriculum for the first time with 8 students. Happy to say that all of them not only completed the course, but we saw amazing results across the board. Clarity, for example, self-rated by the students, was at a 4.8 to start. It went to an 8.8 at the end of the program. Confidence went from a 5.2 to an 8.8 by the end of the program. And we had 4 of our students start businesses. 2 of them landed the dream job that they wanted to get. And it was just an amazing opportunity for everybody involved. And so now I'm taking Divergent U to the next level. We're trying to get investors involved. We're trying to get a facility. We have classes that we're launching this fall. We're accepting 27 students. And it's just continuing to grow. So that's where we're at now.
Changing the world one class at a time.
One class at a time.
Sam Tarell, you heard it here, guys. I think just your spoken word is amazing. Everything you do, the fact that you are 26 years old and you have such passion to make such a difference in the world, we can all learn a little bit from you, whether it's at Divergent U or just seeing the person that you are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the type of person who I want to talk to everybody. Like, I'm happy to have a conversation with anyone out there who is either stuck on their journey or just finding a way to like get more involved with impact. The question,
and he means it. He absolutely has this gorgeous, beautiful mind, and if you want to tap into it, I guarantee that
please
you'd be
reach
willing
out.
to talk.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah. Happy to be
All
here.
right, guys, make sure you check him out, Sam Tarell, Divergent U or Hoops Brothers, right?
Hoop Brothers, yes.
Hoop. I'm making up hoops. I'm making it plural. It's only hoop. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, take care of yourselves and don't forget to take care of each other.